interesting point that you mentioned at the beginning, the culture, so the company culture that gets you excited. What I wanted to ask Stephanie and Niharika is, how would you describe the company and team culture? And maybe we start with you, Niharika.
I would say for the company culture, it's very diverse. So you'll find all kinds of people, work ethics, like Rafael mentioned at the start, not just nationalities, because you're living in a country where 90% of the population is expats. So you have different styles of working, different backgrounds. So the diversity. Second, I would say a strong point of this is because with this diversity, the change management part is a huge thing. So again, the drive, motivation, if you find the right people, there's a lot of that as well. And especially within our team, I think everyone's excited to change, and there's scope to grow so much. Keeping that goal in mind, there's a lot that you can do.
Thank you. Stephanie, anything to add on that?
I think my experience is very different because I'm from the West, and I feel like most of my career I've worked in New York City or London, and so I'm used to a different culture. And I think what I've realized is there's a little bit. I still feel like in some aspects this is a developing country, and it's very, very new in terms of its timeline. I think the UAE is about 40 years around there, and so I think that in terms of the culture, it's still being built. And I think that what I said to my class when they visited at Wharton was that what happens is a lot of people who come from the West tend to stay in the West, and they keep their intellectual capital there. And so I think that there's a lot of opportunity to embark and teach a lot of the cool things that you've learned from schools, especially from the West, as this is a developing country and they're trying to learn new things and new ways of doing things and formulating different cultures in terms of how do you influence, in terms of leadership, in terms of those different styles. So I say that it's still changing, and I don't know if I have a complete picture of where it is currently, but I can feel it changing to where Rafael wants it to be in terms of innovative, in terms of people really wanting to learn and really, really trying to be thirsty about that and trying to really embrace change. And I think that's really what is happening at our company. And I think that it's definitely different because I think when you go into a lot of these companies in the West, a lot of that culture is already established, and this is still happening, and it's still growing, and you feel it a little bit more and more every day. So I think that's what I would say in terms of the culture is it's still developing, but those are the main characteristics that I'm seeing in terms of the culture that's being created.
I would add on something to it is it's kind of like a cloud, and you make it into a grid. And we're bringing that structure in. And one more thing which there's a lot of emphasis on is an ownership mindset. So kind of owning what you want and delivering it from start to finish is the best quality product.